What's going on, Copy friends? Welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Fareed, and in today's video I just want to give you guys some brief updates that we just saw roll out from the Cornucopias game. If you guys don't know about Cornucopias, they're going to be a play to earn, learn to earn, and build to earn, as well as a host to earn platform building on Cardano. Now they are going to be, I personally believe, one of the top metaverses building right now in this space. Now, before we jump into this particular tweet, right, in which we saw a few leaks handed out by Rob Gregg, who is one of the co-founders of this game, I just want to quickly give you guys some updates as it pertains to their CopyWiki, which is essentially a wiki document highlighting all of the different aspects of the game. Now, I am going to leave the link to this down in the description below, but if you guys head over to copywiki.cornucopias.io, you can essentially begin browsing through all of their content. As a part of this video, I want to highlight updates coming to their roadmap, seasons that they've now announced within the Metaverse game. We will also review sectors as well as the Metaverse Launcher. Before we go any further, I do want to give a shout out to their Discord team and all of the managers within that platform. They now have more than 40,000 members as a part of their growing community. And so again, this just really goes to show that they are a big team. They already have a big buy-in from the community, and there's a ton of support and additional guilds building and anticipation of the launch of this particular metaverse. Jumping back over into the CopyWiki, first thing I want to break down is going to be updates on terms of their roadmap. So we only had updates up until 2022, and as you guys can see here, this team has done nothing but deliver. We've seen a ton of different NFT sales. We've seen just so many CopyWikis, or not CopyWikis, Copy Cafe episodes, and just a lot of updates coming from this team. Some of the highlights include their Copy stake pool, which essentially launched and was full almost with 64 million ADA in terms of just a few days. As I mentioned before, we also saw some NFT sales, with the most recent one being the Farmer Joe NFT sale, as well as the collaboration with the Cheeky Crypto platform, or the Cheeky Crypto YouTube channel. Now, as a part of 2023, what can we actually expect from the Copy team? As it states here, they will be updating their website, and that is planned for Q1 or Q2 of 2023. On top of that, we can expect to see the mobile game public testing finally open as a part of Q1 and Q2 as well of 2023. Now, this was done early on as a part of a closed group in which we saw other content creators like Scruffy essentially break a lot of the content surrounding their mobile game. So I'm excited to finally, hopefully, be able to get my hands on this, hopefully within just the coming months. In addition to that, we will be expecting the Cornucopias Metaverse PC game, right, also open up for public testing, which we'll see Solace as well as Esperanza opening up in Q2 or Q3 of 2023. Now, I recently attended the CNFTCon event in which I was actually able to get my hands on this demo, and if what we're going to be seeing on PC will be anything similar, then I'm super excited for it. And being that was about 2 or 3 months ago, I would expect that by the time that this rolls out on PC, we'll see a ton of improvements also launching as a part of that updated testing platform. Now, moving further into 2023, so now we don't actually have any Q or quarters listed here at the end of these particular goals, but as it states here, we will have another free NFT collection being given out to OG members within their Discord. So I want to say that we saw about 800 of the OG bubble jets being minted and given out for free to the community. And right now, let's actually just quickly take a look here at jpeg.store to see if we can find what they're actually trading at in terms of a floor price. So we're gonna head over to jpeg.store, and we're just gonna type in Cornucopias. And what we're going to be looking for is the OG bubble jet. And let's see here. Right now it's trading at a floor price of 2,300 ADA. If we convert that to USD, that's right around $637. And as you guys already know, the price of Cardano ADA is down right now, but you could imagine how much more valuable this would have been, 2, 3, maybe 4 months ago. And so again, this was given out for free by the team, and they look like they will be doing a second round in terms of the OG bubble jets being given out to their members within their community. Now, if you want to figure out how you guys can actually become an OG member, all you have to do is essentially just contribute silently to the community, and I promise you they will pick you up and they'll essentially reward you with that particular role. Now, having said that, moving along, what we can also expect as a part of 2023 are the build to earn mechanics, right? So we'll see an NFT creation tool. We'll also see a stake to earn feature, as well as the release of the Unreal Engine 5 mobile game. So that looks like it's actually going to be happening this year, and we should see it also for Android and Apple on the Cardano mainnet. So that's a huge update there that I personally was not aware of, but I am excited to see that is there as a part of the roadmap for 2023. Now, the very last way that you can also earn is by hosting as well. And so the Copy team will be releasing additional documentation about their founder Copy data node. So it looks like by securing the actual Cornucopias metaverse and the network that it's going to be running on, you'll also be able to earn. So just a lot of different ways to actually get involved with this particular community as it pertains to the year of 2023. Moving over into the next thing I want to discuss, which will be seasons as a part of the game. And it states here that seasons will play a key part as it relates to player strategy and will be very important element to the actual game progression and rewards. With the changing of seasons, changes may occur to one or many of the theme zones. So you could imagine, right, the Esperanza theme zone, just kind of going through what we would expect, summertime, winter, fall, and even spring. So that'll be really cool to see there again. The next thing I want to mention is going to be sectors. Now, if you don't know what a sector is within the Cornucopias metaverse, it's going to be a tech-advanced floating dome, and it's also going to be immense in size and scale. They'll house vast landscapes with their own unique style and backstory. Now, if I'm not mistaken, within each of these sectors, there will be a theme zone which share the same game theme, right, which include artwork and assets. However, they will all be varied in terms of their geography and vegetation. And so if I jump back over here very quickly into this last tweet that Rob posted as a part of New Year, this essentially gives us an idea of a sector with 4 different districts. So if I jump back over here into the sectors again, we can see that each theme zone offers players rewards for farming, mining, foraging, and fishing. I'm really excited to see how much in terms of the actual mechanics the team is focusing on, right? So they've also even talked about, how to craft and create things within their metaverse and the kind of product lines that you essentially have to go through to, to do things such as making bread, providing, different farming equipment, different, products within the actual metaverse itself as it continues to build. Now, to get to the theme zones from your home bubble, which will be a free part of the metaverse, players need to actually go through one of the cloud gates. Now, the cloud gates will essentially allow for you to transport between your home bubble and these different theme zones. Now, there's also going to be what they call the hangar bay. Now, as you enter the sector by approaching via a flying vehicle, which is either private or public. So if you guys have already purchased one of the OG bubble jets or one of the regular GTI Javelins or even just a regular bubble jet, you'll be able to essentially use that as your own personal transport. But if you don't have access to one of those NFTs, you will be able to also use the public transport. So again, this really goes to show how much attention to detail this particular team is doing when it comes to the mechanics of the metaverse. Now, once you actually reach one of the hangar bays, you'll be taken to a central terminal where you'll be greeted by NFTs, shops, and all kind of different interactive objects. So this reminds me of like a port if you guys have ever been on a cruise and you kind of just get off and you undock, or you dock, I should say, and you kind of are met at a port where you've got, a bunch of different attractions. You've got food there, you've got shops, and just a lot of different activities. So I think they're doing a really good job of making this have a real world feel, again, within their metaverse. Now from here, you will enter one of the Copy subway transits that will take you to one of these surface stations. Finally, you will then be able to enter the surface tube and actually emerge in the chosen sector district. So again, they've really put a lot of thought here into this, but it looks like you'll be able to come in through one of the terminals here at the very bottom of the dome. And they actually have 2 different entrances, right? It looks like you'll be able to come in either through a private vehicle or a public transport vehicle. Now, once you do that, you'll be kind of in the center here at the hangar bay, which they have a brief sneak peek of down in the section below, which we'll get to just in a sec. There's also going to be a cargo lift. Then they'll have a central terminal right above with different intersector travels. And then they'll have the surface stations at the very top. And then I believe from there, you can essentially come out at the very top where you can kind of walk around within the actual metaverse. Now, do keep in mind that this is all a work in progress, so all of this could change, but I do find that the team has been very, very good at keeping their word and essentially delivering on what they're promising. Now here we have a Copy leak of what an actual central terminal looks like, and I mean, this looks exactly like what we would expect to see, at a futuristic airport, right? So you have some kind of transport vehicle here, looks like maybe a bus. And then you have one of the actual characters here just kind of showing us in terms of reference what we can expect as the size of these actual terminals. I really love this airport feel here with the lights at the very top. And again, just the high quality here that the Cornucopias team is essentially known for. Scrolling down, we have a second sneak peek here, which again is essentially just showing us what this particular terminal will look like. So I'm excited to see this here. And if you guys are not already following them, this is a reason to do so. And also make sure to check out the Copy Wiki for yourself. The next item I want to talk about is going to be what they refer to as the desktop launcher. So this particular desktop launcher will be the first Cardano blockchain desktop NFT wallet. On top of that, the Metaverse Launcher, previously known as the desktop launcher, is the first Microsoft Windows Cardano blockchain application with advanced NFT support. That was a mouthful. Now that said, what really stuck out to me here is the word Microsoft. Microsoft, I want to say, is one of the leaders right now when it comes to desktops, and the fact that they will essentially be collaborating, it looks like, with Microsoft, right, to get this Cardano blockchain application out is huge. Now, it's going to help users locate and start Cornucopias related computer programs and media. Now, the Metaverse Desktop Launcher aims to close the gap between traditional gamers and blockchain gamers by making the blockchain layer almost invisible. So this, I think, is really important to understand, because when it comes to adoption, especially by the younger generation, they may not necessarily be too tech savvy to want to interact with the blockchain layer, but if it seems like it's almost invisible, right, it's going to help to reduce that barrier to entry. Now, in addition to that, I will say that the Cornucopias team has done a really good job of fostering an all-around community for different age ranges. So if you're, as young as 10 to 15 years old, or even if you're an older adult, you're more than welcome within the Cornucopias community. And I think that their Discord has been nothing but a testament to that. So shout out to them and what they're essentially doing and fostering a community that accommodates everybody regardless of their age. Now, the mobile desktop launcher will also educate newcomers to the new world of play to earn gaming. As I mentioned before, there's going to be plenty of ways to earn within the Cornucopias metaverse, which include play to earn, learn to earn, host to earn, and build to earn. If I pop open this here, we can see that this is actually a preview of the desktop launcher, in which we have a library here with some previews. We also have a marketplace, a media section, an NFT wallet. We'll also be able to get some Cornucopias news directly from their actual mobile app launcher, from their desktop launcher, as well as be able to essentially, I assume, manage our nodes if you're hosting to earn. If you're building to earn, learning to earn, or staking, you also have the ability to kind of manage that as well with their desktop launcher. Now, jumping out of this, if I scroll down just a little bit, it does state that this is an early working prototype. And again, definitely make sure to keep in mind this is all a work in progress, and we could essentially see a lot of this change over the course of the next few months. Here are some of the key features that you'll be able to essentially do. As I mentioned before, you'll be able to build, learn, stake. You'll have access to marketplace, media, and a ton of other things. Now, one other highlight that I saw, which was pretty crucial here, is that they will have an advanced wallet solution, right? So in addition to actually simplifying access to the actual metaverse itself, you'll have access to your wallets, in which you'll be able to connect to different existing accounts within the Cornucopias metaverse. You'll also be able to restore an existing Cardano wallet. So if you already have, for example, a Nami wallet, a Jira wallet, or even a Yoroi wallet, you'll be able to restore all those without actually having to create a brand new wallet specific to the Cornucopias metaverse. On top of that, users will be able to purchase NFTs directly within the desktop launcher, it appears. And as you guys already know, Cornucopias has been very adamant in terms of giving giving users of their platform the power to manage their own assets through the use of NFTs. Now, the very next thing I want to mention here, which is also a relatively big update, is that we will essentially see support for Ethereum, Binance, and other blockchain type wallets. So other wallets will be available to connect via dApps such as MetaMask in the future. And right now, only Cardano-based wallets will be compatible for the launch edition. And then in terms of security, the Metaverse Launcher will have security as its number one priority, and the code will be independently tested and audited before launch. So I'm really happy to see that they're also taking that into account there as well. So this is going to bring us to, I would say, one of my favorite updates so far as it pertains to the new year for Cornucopias, which was this tweet released by Rob Gregg. If you guys are not already following him, Josh Jones, Ant Renix, and Jeff Hewitt, then definitely make sure to go do that. But here it basically just breaks down what we can expect in terms of the actual distribution districts within these sectors. So here we have just kind of like an overview, and it'll be interesting to see if this is actually what this actual district looks like. But as you guys can see, we have like this mountainous area there, and then we've got District 1, District 2, District 3, and then District 4. Now within the actual district itself, we'll be able to do things such as farm, mine, fish. We'll also be able to have some forestry tasks. We'll be able to forage, craft, and a lot more to come. Now, if I jump over into this next picture here, this was actually very, very cool. So I'll be wrapping up this video here on this last note. So each particular district will have a certain amount of protection area. Again, guys, this goes to the testament in which these guys are literally thinking about everything when it comes to the mechanics of how this metaverse is going to function. So if you're more on the safe side, you can essentially head over to District 1 once you actually navigate to this particular sector, in which you'll be covered from a ton of different land events as well as influences within the actual sector itself, right? So in terms of influential events, we have weather events, rogue players, which is interesting, right? We might have thieves, pickpockets, and essentially just NFT characters, or NPCs, I should say, in the wild, essentially interacting with your actual player within the metaverse. We'll have wild animals. We'll have hostile NPCs, right? So that's actually pretty cool as well. And then we'll also have world events. So maybe something that actually impacts the entire district, not just your particular, that impacts the entire sector and not just your district. Now we have district number 2, which has a little bit less coverage, which essentially means that you're more susceptible to some of these land events and influences taking place within the actual sector. Now, in closing here, each land plot is equipped with a defense mechanism which creates a safe zone around it. The safe zone automatically gets larger with land activity, and a district with a large safe zone may attract more settlers. And that's, pretty fair to say, right? Because of the protection that it offers, you would expect to see a much greater community built probably within District 1 here and then District 4. Now, what does that mean for District number 2 and District number 3? To me specifically, I think there'll be a lot of opportunity as a part of District number 3 because there's not going to be many players looking to essentially settle out there, but it also opens you up to a lot of these different factors, right? Which include wild animals and hostile NPCs. That said, influence spheres can essentially merge together, creating a larger safe zone for other players. So it'll be interesting to see, for example, if somebody's out in District number 3 and they essentially start to gather a bigger community, if that'll kind of start to overlap with District number 1 and District number 4, kind of creating safe zones in between these different districts. Now, in closing, surrounding areas gain extra protection, making activities outside the land plot safer, i.e. fishing and nearby rivers. That said, this is going to wrap it up for today's update on the Cornucopias game. I know that it's been a while since I've released one of these, and I just felt like it was overdue because of how much progress this team has been making. That said, if you guys found this video to be helpful, please make sure to tap that like button. If you guys have any questions or comments for myself, leave those down in the comment section below. And if it's your first time stopping by Dapp Central, then consider subscribing. I will see you guys in the next video.